guys, and welcome back to another vlog. Hi, my name is Sierra. I am a new grad registered nurse. They'll be starting their job in a couple weeks. So crazy. I'm going to be a pediatric CVICU nurse, and I'm so excited. Like, I literally am so excited. It's getting real, and I just can't wait. Today, I thought we would do a little day in the life. I'm doing a few things for my job start. If you work in healthcare, nursing school, EMT, work in a hospital at all, you need your BLS, basic life support class. I've had my certification since 2017, so I'm going to my CPR class this morning. I thought I would take you guys along with me. I don't know that I'll be able to show a whole lot just because I could be the only person in the class, which is weird, but I've had that happen before, so we will go do that and I'll show you what I can, and if not, we'll just talk about it after. Today is July 8th, Saturday. I start my job Monday, July 17th, which is so exciting. And this class starts at 10, which is in about 15 minutes, and I did find one that is like about half a mile, like 5 minutes from my apartment, which is so nice. It should go about 3 hours, and for this there was no pre-work or anything, which is different when you're renewing versus when you're first getting your license, so we'll talk about that later. This is the 2020 American Heart Association BLS Provider Manual. I got this my last time I renewed because that was 21, and they're still using the same manual now. Just how my class went, we were in this conference room. We watched a video. The video I think was like almost an hour altogether. So we watched about 30 minutes or so of it about the adult and child CPR, how to do like in hospital versus out of facility CPR, and what that looks like, one rescuer versus two rescuers. So sometimes differences between compressions and breaths that are given, and the type of equipment that you'll use. Obviously, like if you're not in a hospital, you're not gonna have a bag valve mask, but as healthcare professionals, that's what we're trained to use, is bag valve masks. But out in the field, you might not have anything, so you're doing mouth to mouth. So we talked about the scope of like mouth to mouth to like a pocket mask to bag valve mask and the differences. And then we did the last 20 minutes of the video, which was on infant CPR and choking in the infant, which is different compressions again to breaths ratio. It's 15 to 2 instead of 30 to 2 when you have two rescuers, which can be hard to forget sometimes. So that's like going to be super important for me to remember. So I'm really trying to commit that to memory. I'm glad we practiced that a bunch. We practiced on the adult mannequins and the infant mannequins, and made sure like we're getting the good seal with our breaths, and you can see the chest rise, getting good compressions. This instructor didn't really care about the rate, which was interesting, but so we had some people going really fast, but the mannequins tell you like a green light on there. So if you've ever been to a CPR class, what you can expect, I believe usually for your first one, there is a lot of pre-work to do. I remember doing a lot of videos. Honestly, it took me quite a while, if I remember correctly. There were like simulations that I had to do. Since I've renewed, it's just been going and doing my skills, a variation of that. Sometimes you do the videos at home and then you just show up for like 20 minutes and do your skills. I've also been to class where it's just me and the instructor, and it's weird and they drag it out, and I'm like, I don't know why. But I gotta give props to instructors that make sure everybody is doing it correctly, because no matter what your position is, whether you're working in a hospital or you're an EMT or, you know, somebody that's doing it a lot, Those are important, but it's also equally important to teach people that don't necessarily have that everyday direct contact with the opportunity for CPR to happen, I would say. So whatever that might be, you know, like just grandparents or like somebody that's just wanting to learn because they want to know what's going to happen, like what they want to know what to do in that situation. I think it's important for them to be able to have that knowledge base and be able to perform that high quality, you know, CPR that everybody else is doing, because it's just as important. Everyone is a first responder, honestly. Like, you never know when an emergency is going to happen. And probably in my future, I would like to become a CPR or BLS instructor because I think it's fun. I'm pretty passionate about it. Obviously, I like cardiac things. I'm going into the cardiac field. So that's just another realm of it. So that's probably down the road for me. But I had a really good day today. I will link a book if I can find it. You probably can just find this on the American Heart Association website. But it's a good book to have on hand. I thought I didn't have it and I was gonna have to do the ebook, but then I went to my little shelf and there it was, and I was like, past me looking out for future me. So love having this on hand. Didn't really use it today, but just really depends on the course. Some people are book people, some people are video people. This lady doesn't seem like she's super experienced, like in a hospital setting. It was more like a bystander sort of situation, so that's totally fine. It all gets the job done. The rest of the day, I think we're just going to maybe go to the pool, and I do have a couple other things to do for work that I will show you guys. But that's kind of my plan for today, just kind of chill out. Fun Saturday. Okay, real quick, I pulled this stuff out of my backpack and I found this super handy card. I believe this came with my last renewal that I did, or in my book that I got, but it's so handy. It talks about the CAB, compressions, airway, breathing, different than the ABCs for AHA's BLS. And then you open this card up and it has different scenarios, kind of like a flow chart. Adult BLS, scene safety, check for responsiveness, hey, are you okay? Call 911 and get the AED. And then if they're breathing or normal breathing and there's a pulse, what you do, no normal breathing or pulse felt, yada yada yada. Goes on and on through here. Walks you through the steps. Super awesome. And then this is for an opioid overdose and pregnancy, AHA. And then back here we have pediatric BLS, single rescuer, two rescuers, difference in compressions and whatnot, differences in what high quality CPR means for adult children and infants, and then for the choking situations as well. So it literally like comprises the entire course into one little handy dandy card, which is super awesome. I also do want to point out there is a difference in the Red Cross BLS and the American Heart Association BLS. I know for a lot of healthcare providers, and I want to say like first responders and stuff, that's all American Heart, but Red Cross is usually like lifeguard certifications and stuff like that. There are a few differences. I know this because Jared teaches Red Cross BLS for his lifeguards, and they do it differently in terms of 1 and 2 rescuer situations. I believe AHA teaches 1 and 2 rescuer, and Red Cross teaches just 1 rescuer. So when I say like 15 to 2 for the ratio for infants, he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no. We got all the resources here. That's how they're imagining this. So, like, it's just different. So I just wanted to make that very clear. Depending on what kind of certification you need, just pay attention to that difference. So I got this awesome email earlier this week from our clinical educator, and just like, oh, welcome to the hospital, welcome to our unit. here's a couple things to do before you find out more about like orientation and what your schedule is, which I'm dying to know. I thought I would share these with you guys because they're kind of fun. So the first one that she wanted us to do was a learning assessment, and it's called How Do I Learn Best? 16 questions, takes like 10 minutes. And I just followed the link. I think learning style is really important when you're starting in residency, just because there's so much to learn and you have different preceptors and different ways of learning things. You're doing things didactically in lecture and learning about, like for me, I'm gonna be learning about all these different cardiac defects, and that's a lot of information. And then I'm gonna have 1 or 2 patients every time I'm on the floor. I'm not gonna have a lot of patients. This first quiz was about what things are helpful to you and how you learn best. So mine, just as an example, obviously not everybody's going to be like me, of course, but my learning preference was strong kinesthetic. So it means that I like practical exercises, experiences, examples, case studies, trial and error, things that are real. I relate that to a lot of hands-on things. The see one, do one, teach one, live by that, because like, don't ask me to do something if you've not shown me what it is, because I'm gonna jump into it and then fail and get self-conscious about it. If I see you do it, cool, I'll do one. You watch me, critique me, and then I can teach one from there on out. That's just kind of how I operate and learn best. And the other one that we did was a personality test using the website called Type Finder, which is such a cute website. I'll definitely link it below because it's adorable. Are you confrontational, or are you just going to not state your opinion? Like routine type things. I'm a very routine person. Which is probably why the ICU works well for me. I'm so like type A. I need an order to what I'm doing, or I get so off track and I don't know what's going on, and I just mentally, I think, implode. The other thing that she asked us to do was send an updated resume, and then also answer some of these questions, like a get to know you thing that gets put up in the break room in our unit, which I thought this would be a good opportunity. As I was going through this, I was like, you know what, I will share some of these because, you know, I'm new to YouTube and starting this journey. Y'all don't know me that well. I can share a little bit about myself. You can get to know me. The first question is, where are you from? I'm from Denver. Originally, I'm actually from Des Moines, Iowa, or a little small town in Iowa. Lived in West Des Moines until I was 18, and then after I graduated high school, I moved to Denver, Colorado for my parents had started a frozen yogurt business. So I lived there for a little bit and then decided to go to Colorado State. Lived in Fort Collins, which is the best place. Like, I cannot speak highly enough of that place. I love it. It's home. Just so amazing. And then after I graduated from college, I lived in Denver area, Aurora area for about probably about 5 more years, I think. From Fort Collins to the Springs, like, that is all home to me. Jared and I, of course, moved to Dallas in August of 2021, and we've lived here for almost 2 years, which is so crazy to me. We'll probably end up moving back to Colorado eventually, but for now, this is home, and that's great. What school did you attend? I attended the University of Texas at Arlington. Accelerated online program for nursing, and did my clinicals at one specific hospital and also my pediatric clinicals at the hospital that I worked at, which was awesome. What music is most frequent on your playlist? Country. Literally country. Kenny Chesney is my favorite. We love Morgan Wallen, Kelsey Ballerini. Lately I've been listening to Taylor Swift, obviously, because hello, Eras Tour, I'm jealous to say the least. What are your hobbies, or what do you like to do for fun? I love writing, not necessarily like short stories or anything like that, just journaling. That's very therapeutic to me. Painting, crafting, like my Cricut, or just like painting projects around the house. I love doing that kind of stuff. Music, I've played 3 instruments. Piano. I played piano competitively, won several trophies when I was younger. I don't know that I have that skill as much anymore. Guitar, obviously, acoustic guitar, and I played saxophone when I was in band when I was younger. But I like listening to music, going to concerts, all that. Hiking, I love being outside, and watching sports. Hockey and baseball are my favorites, of course, but I also will watch some football occasionally. Not so much on the basketball. And I played volleyball when I was younger, so love volleyball. Any chance I get to coach or teach a volleyball class or something, I will definitely be doing it. I love doing that. What is one word your friends would choose to describe you? I actually asked Jared, and he said, he said, funny one first, he said squirrel, because I'm all over the place. But he said, honest answer, compassionate. So that warmed my heart a little bit. You could pick anywhere in the world to travel. Where would it be? I said Greece because, hello, it looks beautiful. And anywhere in Africa where I can go on a safari, because I have a bit of an obsession with giraffes. If you've seen little bits around my apartment, I have a large 6-foot giraffe in our living room. I have a teapot. I have rain boots. I have boxes and boxes of giraffe things. Like, the obsession is real. If you had a warning label, what would yours say? This is also per Jared. Must feed breakfast. Like, some people can't get their day going without coffee. I am that way with breakfast. What is your previous work experience? Most recently, as I've shown in other videos, I was a float PCT at a children's hospital. I was also, before that, I was a CNA PCT in a cardiac unit, so kind of similar to how I will be in the CICU, but this was a step down cardiac unit, so I was doing a lot of like baths and like ambulating with our toddlers, and a lot more hands-on things probably for a tech in the cardiac area. I've also worked in an older adult rehab facility, long-term care, memory care, all of those things as a CNA. I've worked at a flower shop, which is super fun. Love that so much. I've been a server for several years at an MLB stadium. Amazing job. Like, it's just kind of off the wall, but amazing. And then also an activity director at an assisted living and memory care. So I've done a lot of stuff. I really have. And I'm thankful that I landed on nursing, but I've done the gamut for sure. And the last one is, do you have any pets? Obviously, a golden retriever named Sadie. Hello, she's been in all my videos. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit of information on me and just some kind of basics as I'm starting my job. I thought since I wrote that out, I would share it with you guys as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully if you have any questions about what a BLS class looks like, this answered a little bit for you. And if you have any questions, please comment down below and I will respond to them as soon as possible. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to follow along with my nursing journey. I start in like a week, which is insane, at my new grad residency. So I will have lots of content coming up. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.